Hi, my name is Shohei Ohtani.
Expectations are always sky high whenever Ohtani participates on one side of the scorecard, let alone on both.
Shohei Ohtani.
Here comes the next pitch.
Oh, man! Lean into it!
Oh, my goodness! Shohei Ohtani!
What Ohtani's doing at the major league level has not been done for the last century.
He's the modern-day Babe Ruth.
It is out of here! Swing! Once again tonight, it's showtime!
It's been an eventful day. Shohei Ohtani was sitting on 30 home runs. He's already now at 31 after homering earlier in the day as we take a look at Major League Baseball's home run leaders entering Sunday's action as we near the All-Star break and the Derby next week in Denver. So June, at the top of this list, you see it, the Angel Shohei Ohtani, who is putting up ridiculous numbers so far this season at the plate and on the mound. We are impressed with both. But what do you think next week represents for Ohtani on the macro scale in baseball?
The national coming out party of Shohei Ohtani. I mean, this is the opportunity for fans who are casual baseball fans who haven't necessarily followed the season on a night-to-night basis to get a look at what all the hype is about. Shohei Ohtani has obviously been leading the league in homers despite, despite playing multiple positions on the field. And for fans who haven't watched Shohei Ohtani because he plays on the West Coast, this is going to be the showcase for him. This is, between playing in the All-Star game and hitting in the Home Run Derby, this is the opportunity for Shohei Ohtani to introduce himself to the national stage as the closest thing I think this generation has to Bo Jackson in terms of a multi-talented athlete. And on top of that, people talk about Shohei Ohtani as the next coming of Babe Ruth. Shohei Ohtani is Shohei Ohtani. Babe Ruth had one season in 1919 where he put together a season where he was a league above average pitcher and obviously a good hitter for the Red Sox. Shohei Ohtani is doing this at a level that Babe Ruth was never able to do over the course of a full season. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he does it over the course of a full season. But I think we're at the point with Shohei where we shouldn't even be comparing him to anyone else because he's a unique specimen and just a unique player and a unique story for the sport.
Can I say quickly about Shohei, too? This is a situation where I wish we had a base running competition at the All-Star game because, again, he's the best base runner on the team. President of Base Running Twitter reminding you that is a skill that matters.
And a skill that's even that much more impressive when you take into consideration Shohei Ohtani is, 6'4"? He's a giant. Those right field bleachers in the thin air at Coors Field are going to get absolutely assaulted next week. Yates, you're going to be there in person. That's going to be a show. Some players who won't be there, at least participating in the Home Run Derby in person, are a couple of those names and faces you saw on the home run leaderboard in Fernando Tatis Jr. and Vlad Guerrero Jr., who have both opted out of the Home Run Derby for different reasons. For Fernando Tatis Jr., he doesn't want to put too much strain on that ailing shoulder, and Vlad says he wants to be healthy and fresh for the second half of the Blue Jay season because right now they're kind of in wild card contention. Me personally, I'm a little upset because they are the faces of Major League Baseball, the young up-and-comers, the exciting home run hitters. But Yates, you have a different perspective on this.
Yeah, there's a couple points here. Number one is that we've seen the amount of injuries Tatis has had. So the eyeball test makes it clear that he might want to opt out of sort of this whole weekend on some level. But for Vladdy Jr., it's very simple to me. For guys that are major league stars and dudes that have done this before, you really only owe your career one time of putting on a good show. And that show in Cleveland was one of the best home run derbies I've ever seen. And I'm a Nats fan that saw Bryce do it in his own ballpark another time in which it was like, hey man, you did it once, you gave it all to us. I don't have a problem with opting out for the rest of your career because we know what it does from a tiresome standpoint, from a swing adjustment standpoint. It's not always the healthiest thing, even if it's a show. You want to watch a laser show? Go check out the one in Cleveland. Let MLB use this time to find some new stars because ultimately the baseball in the regular season is more important, and Vladdy's already given us something that we were going to remember for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, from the point of view of a selfish fan, and I understand all of the points that Clinton made there, I wanted to see Vladdy Jr. versus Shohei. Like, that's what I wanted to see. It would have been incredible to watch. Plus, Pete Alonso is going to be, defending his home run derby title again. That Alonso versus Guerrero final in Cleveland, like Clinton said, was one of the most entertaining baseball events I've ever been to. And I wanted to see this evolution, the new Vladdy Jr., the one who has lost weight, who is putting together a potential triple crown season, go up against Shohei Ohtani, because those two guys are putting together one of the most interesting MVP races, I think, of the last couple of years right now.
I just want to see him mash. I mean, they're so young. They're going to be all right. Maybe I just got, I'm nearsighted in that sense. But Yates, you'll enjoy it. Actually, you and June will be on that call next Monday from the Mile High City. Well, at least Yates, you will be July 12th. You can watch the fireworks on ESPN at 8 Eastern. And, of course, June and Clinton will get you ready for it all on BBTN Live, the Home Run Derby pre-show beforehand on all ESPN social platforms next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.